Hey guys, MICHAELJOSH here, your gadget matchmaker, helping you find the right device to match your needs. If you're watching, then you're probably as excited as I am about the new iPhone 13, which literally just launched minutes ago. But we still have time to make up your mind if you are considering going out and buying one. Pre-orders don't start till this Friday, September 17th, and the phone won't hit retail stores till September 24th. So in this video, I want to break down what's new this year. Pay close attention and see if any of these new features are exactly what you're looking for. Let's start with the iPhone 13 and 13 mini. Let's talk about design first. Depending on how you look at it, this can be good news or bad news. The good news is if you own an iPhone 12, then all of your old cases will still work because the new iPhone 13 and 13 mini are the same size and will fit last year's cases. The bad news is your new phone will look just like last year, but the iPhone 13 and 13 mini are available in 5 new colors: Product Red, Starlight, which is their new white color, Midnight, which is their new dark color, Blue, and Pink. One way to tell apart the iPhone 12 from the iPhone 13 is the orientation or the layout of the camera modules. Instead of being on top of each other, they're now in a diagonal. Speaking of cameras, we've seen this trend from many smartphone manufacturers over the last few years. Google, Samsung, and even Apple, they tend to just keep the camera hardware the same and don't really update the hardware, only the software. Well, this year, camera hardware on the iPhone 13 and 13 mini are all new, including a new wide camera with a larger image sensor, which as a result will let in more light, and the inclusion of Sensor Shift OIS, which was a feature reserved only for the 12 Pro Max last year. During their keynote, Apple showed off tons of great camera samples, but we promise you, once we get our hands on the phones, we will do a comprehensive camera test and share the results with you. Because everyone these days is a video creator, it makes sense that Apple is also adding new video features. One is called Cinematic Mode, which will record any kind of subject, whether that's a person, a pet, or an object, with a beautiful bokeh, that depth effect. And then when you move your camera, it will automatically change focus. In the movie making world, that technique is called rack focus, and I can't wait to see what kind of short films people are going to make using it. During most of this year, I've been an iPhone 12 mini user, and I'm really excited that Apple has improved the battery life of both the new iPhone 13 and 13 mini. Apple is promising 2.5 hours more on the iPhone 13 and 1.5 more on the iPhone 13 mini. As can be expected every year, the new iPhone features a new processor, the A15 Bionic chip. This new 5nm processor is promised to be more power efficient than ever before. Apple also claims it's 50% faster than its competition, so I'm assuming that's the Snapdragon 888 processor. This next bit isn't necessarily new. In fact, pricing for the iPhone 13 and 13 mini remain the same. But in a way, you could consider these new phones cheaper because the base models now start with 128 gigabytes of storage. That's double what Apple was offering last year. Depending on when you started counting, 2 or 3 years in, 5G is slowly rolling out across the globe. And the good news is the iPhone 13 series will support more 5G networks around the globe, with over 200 carriers worldwide in over 60 countries and regions. And I know some of you are concerned about 5G battery drain. The good news is there's a feature called Smart Data Mode, which will automatically shift to LTE when 5G speeds aren't needed. If you watch my videos, you'll know that my favorite Apple accessory is the MagSafe wallet for the iPhone. I've used it ever since it was launched. I have actually 2 or 3 of them. But today, I will admit, I did consider switching to a wallet because I have been wanting Find My tracking, and I've thought about how AirTags will probably never fit into one. So today, imagine my excitement when Apple announced that the new MagSafe wallet will have Find My built-in. You can order one today for 59 bucks. It's available in a couple of colors: golden brown, dark cherry, sequoia green, midnight, and wisteria, which is a nice lavender color. It starts shipping September 21st. By the way, these new iPhones will run iOS 15. If you don't know what's new, you can click over here to watch our roundup of best iOS 15 features. But if you have an old iPhone and aren't considering upgrading, don't worry, iOS 15 will roll out to everyone on September 20th. If you've noticed, I haven't yet talked about the iPhone 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max. Well, that's another big change. The differentiation between the Pro series and the regular iPhone 13 series is clearer, more distinct now. Some of the new features include a new ProMotion display. Tech nerds all over the world, rejoice! You now get a 120Hz display on an iPhone. Well, at least the 13 Pro series. It's an adaptive display that will switch from 10 Hz all the way to 120 depending on what you're doing. We'll get more into that technology once we work on our review. Just like on the iPhone 13 and 13 mini, the 13 Pro and Pro Max also come with improved battery life. Apple is promising 1.5 hours longer on the iPhone 13 Pro and up to 2.5 hours longer on the 13 Pro Max. Not to be outdone, the 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max also have 3 new cameras. A wide camera with a larger image sensor and an f1.5 aperture, a new ultra-wide camera with an f1.8 lens that also doubles as a macro lens, and a new autofocus system. And finally, a new 77mm telephoto camera offering 3x optical zoom. Apart from the new cinematic mode, the iPhone 13 Pro series also gets the ability to shoot in ProRes. That's an advanced, high-tech video codec that's used by professionals to film and deliver commercials and movies. So now, the iPhone 13 Pro series can now shoot, edit, and share in Dolby Vision and ProRes formats. In terms of fit and finish, there's really no telling apart the iPhone 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max versus the new 13 and 13 Pro Max. They still come in the usual silver, gold, and graphite colors, and literally, I just willed it into existence. They're still keeping blue, but the blue this year is called Sierra Blue. It's a lighter blue shade, and it's definitely the one that I'm going to get. Pricing for the iPhone 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max remain the same, so the 13 Pro starts at $999 and the 13 Pro Max starts at $1,099. Those phones come with 128 gigabytes of storage, but if you're shooting in ProRes, you'll need all the space you can get. And this year, Apple is offering a 1 terabyte model, which goes for $1499 for the 13 Pro and $1599 for the 13 Pro Max. So, should you upgrade to the new iPhone 13 or should you get the iPhone 13 Pro series? Normally, I don't recommend upgrading if you own last year's model, but because Apple and carriers make it very easy to upgrade your iPhone every single year, I'd definitely consider it. Us techies, we look for new features that are great to talk about and show in video, but I think most users really care about 2 things: camera performance and battery life. And in terms of these 2 things, Apple has really delivered it this year. I don't want to jump the gun because I'm going to be working on reviews of all phones, but for now, I'll leave you with this. I think the iPhone 13 and 13 Pro are solid upgrades, and I can't wait to get my hands on them. Guys, we have a lot of iPhone content coming your way. Buyer's guides, best cases, unboxing videos, and reviews of all 4 phones. So you do not want to miss any of them. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already, and click that bell icon so that you get notified as soon as we upload. Follow me on social media for all the behind-the-scenes fun stuff. When I get the phones, I'll be posting behind-the-scenes photos and some sample photos of these devices. And of course, for all the news and updates, make GadgetMatch.com your daily habit. Until the next video, which I'm sure is coming really soon, I'm Michael Josh. Thanks for dropping by.